it's Kelly. I am back with another process video, and today I am using a kit that I got from Felicity Jane called the Next Stop Kit, and I fell in love with this kit with the florals. Oh my gracious, if you followed me for a while, you know that I'm a sucker for florals, and I like to fussy cut some florals. So, off camera, I had fussy cut several florals, not with this layout in mind, but just knowing that I would do it. Sometimes when I want to scrapbook, but I don't feel like scrapbooking, if that makes sense, I will just cut out, either fussy cut some things, or, I'll straighten up my room or reorganize a few things. So this is what I had done in preparation for this layout. And I also will cut off border strips or cut strips off of pattern paper that I know that I will most likely use as strips. That black and white piece that I put at the bottom is a full sheet, and it's very busy, but I love it. But I knew that I would use it in small doses, so I had just cut off a strip to play with, basically. So this layout's coming together pretty quickly. The colors I chose were around the floral, and the picture is of my daughter's first day of 8th grade, and I ended up choosing this because I liked that it was a little bit edgy, if that makes sense. I felt like the black and white added to this mix made it just, I guess, fresh is maybe more along the word that I'm trying to think of. So my title is going to be very generic because I'm not the best at titles, and 8th grade it is. And I was thinking about doing maybe first day of 8th grade, but then I knew that I would journal a little something on that tag that I've put to the right of the photo. So I just decided to go with that nice bold title. So I'm just playing around with those strips up top. I can tell you right now that I fuss with that top strip multiple times, and I end up changing it, and that comes a little bit later. So when you get the Felicity Jane kit, it comes with a bunch of cut-aparts that you can cut yourself that have labels and word stickers and little banners and things like that. So I'm just flipping through them and trying to decide what I want to go where. And, I want there to be, the splashes of that kind of yellowish green around the layout. And, I want the words to make sense. And I love that little floral strip. I think it's supposed to be like a strip of washi. And I was just trying to tuck that in to see if I could get it to work anywhere. I end up leaving that alone though, and I will just use it on another page. So I'm starting to really like the way that the layout's coming together, so I want to go ahead and get things put together. And as I'm looking at this, I realized that I would really like a little bit of that pink to show at the bottom. So I'm just cutting a little strip off and, just lining up my pictures, and you will see how I just stretch that piece of pink paper a little bit further. This is definitely one of my favorite tricks when it comes to papers that I love. And, things like this are just what I consider just like the jerry rigging is what you call it. I love things like that. It makes me feel like I have really done something good. And it doesn't matter if I still have 3/4 of the sheet left. I will still do that. So the title, I keep on flipping around as well, and you'll see me move it up, over. I end up putting it putting it closer to that lower cluster, and the layout's going to eventually read as a diagonal, even though the photo and the photo mat, the papers underneath, are very centered. I'm going to have a cluster in the upper left-hand corner and the cluster in the lower right-hand corner. So as opposed to a visual triangle, which I usually end up doing, or something close to that, this layout will just have everything on that, pretty much on that diagonal. So I did cut some foam behind that large floral just to give it some dimension, and also it allows me to tuck that smaller floral underneath it, and I just love the layered look that it gives. Those florals just make my heart happy. I just think they are so pretty, and I just don't ever get tired of florals. So I did cut a hole, punch a hole in the tag for the reinforcer. I prefer to have my tags really look like tags, and I will go back at some point, I think after I make the layout, and just put a little bit of crochet twine through the tag. And it's just in a neutral color. It's not something that I really want to draw attention to. It's just a little finishing touch for the tag. So still getting things cut down, and I'm going to take that strip of paper that I have, and I'm going to end up cutting that in two and putting it on both sides of the layout as well. It's just a pretty yellow and white stripe, and on the back grain is the back grain. You guys, I'm drinking coffee, but obviously my coffee just has not hit my brain yet. It's early morning. It's like 6:30. Nobody else is awake, so I was trying to squeeze in a voiceover, and yeah, it probably does best for me to have my entire cup of coffee before I start speaking. Anyway, so I'm getting that lower cluster put down. That sweet little floral is on that same piece of paper as the big roses, and I just like it because it's a different floral, but it still obviously has the same colors, and I just like sometimes things that complement rather than match completely. So here I am with that piece of washi tape again. Ultimately, I do decide to just leave it. I felt like it was just too much, and for me, my goal is always to have just right. So I end up taking both of those strips off, and I decide to match it with the bottom strip. And I will keep the banner. I like the way that the little banner looks up top. But once I add the boulder pattern up top, it just really pulls the whole layout together. So when I put that yellow strip over on that right hand side, I realized that the tag was going to cover it up completely, and I wanted to see just a little hint of it poking out. So I did cut off the end and stretch it again. I just like the way that it looks when things have a beginning and an end, or when you're tricking the eye to make it seem like it's one full sheet of paper or one long strip when it's not. So the stamp set that comes with this kit is, I think, is it travel oriented? I don't have the stamp set in front of me, and some of the phrases would definitely not work for this, but there was a phrase in there that said "for real" with a question mark, and I just thought that would be perfect for several reasons. Number one, it's a little bit sarcastic, and that kind of fit my mood. I feel like that fits a teenager's mood. If you have a teenager, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I felt like it fit the theme of the layout with "for real," like I cannot believe you were going in 8th grade. This is crazy, time slow down. That's basically what my journaling was about. And it just, the old phrase, it says you blink your eyes and you don't know where you're at because, it just seemed like yesterday that they were toddling around. It is so true. And yeah, this year I'm actually looking at having both in high school, which I'm not thrilled with. But that's just the way it goes. So here is the placement of the title that I did decide to go with. I like that so much better. Number one, it doesn't look so crammed in, and it gives it more breathing room, and it helped bridge that lower cluster with the photo cluster as well. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and stamp the "for real" on that yellow tag at the bottom, and I just tested it out first to make sure that I would like the color. And this is Hollyhock by Close to My Heart, and it's a beautiful shade of like pink coral, and I just happened upon it and love it. I think though that it is getting retired soon, if not already, so if you like it, you might want to get your hands on it before it goes. So that's pretty much it for me today. I'm just sticking down the letters, and after I cut the camera off, I do my journaling, and I do adhere that little hello wood veneer that I was moving around the page. So I do have some stills coming up. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.